FatDag is a Weight Watchers leader in Indianapolis, Indiana. However, the views and opinions expressed during this podcast are his own. They do not represent the views of Weight Watchers. And now, here's your host and wingman, FatDag.
Cheers. I am your host, FatDag. You're listening to Wise Advice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at fatdag.com and follow along on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, all at Wise Advice. Send in your comments, your questions, your celebrations. I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. Well, hello there. Welcome to episode 282 of Wise Advice. Man, I got a great day today. Tell you, it's one of the days that I just want to just hit record, watch the whole thing back tomorrow. It was that cool. So I had the opportunity, you guys know this through Operation FatDag, I had the opportunity to speak to members of the military, members who are just like me, who are in a class that is an 8-day class of them trying to understand why fitness is important in their life, why being well matters. And so they sit in this class for 8 days, and I get to come in on day 7. I think it's day 7, the day before their last day. I come in and I kind of tell them my story. I tell them, I was in your scenario. I was miserably out of shape and I wasn't getting it done militarily. And we share a lot of that conversation. I spend about an hour with them and I leave them super motivated and pumped, I hope. And that's the game plan. So if any of you are joining me live tonight, it was so great to connect with you today. I asked folks in Twitter and on Connect and in Instagram and Facebook. I'm like, I posted a picture of me just before I went live in that room, or just before I went on the air or went on stage there. And I posted a picture. I said, hey, I'm getting ready to go do this. What would you tell them if you could? And at the end of my talk, I said, guys, I asked these folks to put this out there, and they did. And so I know those members, I saw them in the room there. They all were social media reading what you wrote. So thank you for that. Many of you continue to send in letters and cards that I hand out at those talks as well. Didn't have that opportunity today, but normally I do. I hand them the cards and letters that you've written in. You certainly can find all that information on operationfatdag.org. Check that out. It's a 501c3 as approved by the IRS. So thank you always for doing that. But truly, again, I say this all the time, but truly is an honor to hang out with you tonight. So thank you for that. I want to give you kind of a little bit of a recap too of Operation FatDag. If you are new to the podcast, welcome. Good to see you. If you've been listening for a little bit of a while, welcome back. Or if you never went anywhere, you're awesome. Whatever your category is, you may have forgotten about episode number 54. If you have the Wise Advice app, it's real simple. Type in 54, type in I'm a good airman in the search bar. And I want you to listen to that episode 54. You can skip about the first, 10 to 15 minutes or so of it and skip in the middle. But I want you to hear my mindset as I was delivering this talk to those in the military. And what I did, I kind of ran through everything that I ran through with them, and it gives you an opportunity to hear it as well. So I want you to go ahead and do that. But, I just know that it's important that we all find someone on this journey that we can relate to. Now, I got a question for you, and I'm going to switch gears here on you, but I got a question. One of the questions I have is I tell you all the time, I believe in you. And I know you believe me when I tell you that. Whether you believe in yourself or not is irrelevant largely at this point. You certainly can get there. We'll teach you how to get there as you stick with the program. But I believe in you, and I want you to have success. I truly do. If you believe that, you should absolutely believe with everything I have. I want you to have success on this program more than anything. So if you know that about me and you believe that I'm telling the truth when I say that, then trust me when I tell you that right now behind the scenes there are some things happening that are going to be amazing for you. And I know some on social media are guessing as to what that may be, and they have some leaked information that they're sharing with you. I've watched a lot of it. Not all of it is accurate. If I could tell you the truth, I would tell you the truth, but we got to wait until WW is ready to really truly launch the program correctly. So what I'm going to do is someday soon, I don't know when, but eventually I'm going to go ahead and record an episode to release at the moment that I'm first able to share the details with you. So you'll get it here first. You know, I'm a WW coach, and this podcast has nothing to do with that, but that's just the lane that I'm in. And so I have all of the information. I just can't share it with you at the moment, but I promise you I'll get an episode recorded. I'll record it a little ahead of time. It'll go out the first opportunity for you to get exactly what my thoughts are on that program as it gets released. So stick around, don't miss that. I can't tell you when it is, but you'll figure it all out. It's all good. So again, thanks for always emailing in onair@fatdag.com. That's how you get on the show, just like Casey did. She says, hi, Mike and the team. I did it. I'm at goal and lifetime. I wanted to reach out and thank you again for taking the time to talk with me on a Patreon chat last month. Your advice on when to call it goal was so kind and affirming. The podcast that you did shortly after our call, episode 266 and 267, were extremely helpful as well. Bolstered with that support, I had a conversation with my doctor. They set a healthy goal weight, and I know I can maintain it. And tonight, at my WW workshop, I hit goal and lifetime. It was funny. I weighed in at my goal, and because I'd already been maintaining around that weight for the last 6 weeks, after the meeting was over and the receptionist finished entering everything into the computer, it notified her that I had achieved lifetime as well. What a whirl. I will write in a proper email that you can share for the show if you'd like soon, but I was so excited I wanted to share with you right away. But I wanted to write in something more thoughtful that will hopefully help others. I want to find out more ways to give back to this community that has given me so much. So thank you again for all that you do, to your family for sharing your time, and for your service to our country, Casey. Well, Casey, congratulations. What an amazing accomplishment to hit goal and lifetime and just really now bring this journey to full circle for you, where you say, okay, now I just understand that my health is the most important part. I feel good about myself finally. That feeling of I feel really, really good is the feeling we're after. The feeling of hopping on the scale and not wanting to lose any weight. What an amazing feeling you have. So congratulations. I want you to cement that in. And yeah, it was absolutely a pleasure having that conversation with you. And folks, if you're not familiar, in the Patreon community, I open my calendar up, give you the opportunity to you and I talk on the phone for 20, 30 minutes or so. We just kind of, talk through some things. And this particular conversation was an important one. We talked about, how do you set a goal weight? Now, of course, there's a couple different ways to declare goal in the WW world, and certainly one of them is to hit a number inside the BMI chart. The other is, of course, to sit with your doctor and come up with a number, and the doctor agrees. You write a note, or he writes a note, or she writes a note, sends it in, we accept it. And of course, the third is you just declare a number that you're happy with, right? And so you get to pick however that works. And so I believe the most valuable, the most important, the best way to reach goal on this program is by you checking in with your doctor, with your medical team, right? That, to me, that's the best. And I don't know what the official stance is. Again, this is my opinion, right? I don't know what the official stance is, but I like that one the best. Here's why. Because when you check in with your doctor, they look at your complete medical history. When you check in with a BMI chart, it takes into your age, and not even your age, your gender and your weight. That's what consists of BMI. It's your gender and your weight only. Nothing else gets factored in. And if you meet a height and weight number on that chart, then congratulations, you've met a normal BMI, which is a great feeling, by the way, but you've met that. And then anything in that range you can consider goal, and then eventually lifetime. But if you check in with your doctor, right, your doctor has access to so much more information about you. They know your age, of course. They know your gender, of course, right? They know your weight. They know your blood work. They know your past medical history. They know the current medications that you're on. They know all of the surgeries that you may have had. They know surgeries that you have coming up. right? That your doctor knows a lot more about you than simply your height and your weight. So if you're checking in with a doctor and your doctor says, based on what I know about you, Casey, based on what I know about you and your medical history, this number right here is what I think works for you. And that is the most powerful way. So you think about things that, if you're a cancer survivor, your doctor takes that into account. If you're older than I am, right? Let's just say your doctor takes that into account, right? If you have medical surgery, whatever you've got going on, your doctor takes all that into account. And the overarching, the overblown analogy I use is if you started this journey at 1,000 pounds and you got down to 300, your doctor would be thrilled, right? And your doctor would say, amazing work. But you wouldn't have hit the BMI chart. So checking in with your doctor, the most valuable thing you can do along this way, I highly encourage you to do it often. And bring a note in from your doctor. That means you've had a conversation with a medical professional about everything going on in your journey, and that recommendation deserves you to hit goal and lifetime. Congratulations. Welcome to Team Lifetime, says Diane. Welcome you to the team. Congratulations. Keep up the amazing work. Thanks for your note. If you want to detail in your journey a little more, I know the community would love, love, love to hear it. So very nice. Donice out of Slaton, Texas, writes in, the next email says, Dear FatDag, hey, about 15 years ago, well, I'm not really someone who notices chronology, but I weighed in at 343 pounds. I was miserable. And I had what people now call gastric bypass. It was a stomach stapling back then. 3 weeks after surgery, I'd lost 25 pounds, and the first thought out of my head was, well, that won't last. Unfortunately, it was true. I think I lost about 80 pounds, then gained back about 30, leaving me at 290 or thereabouts. I stayed there for a long time, and until I went off the back of a treadmill and injured my Achilles tendon. It took 2 years for me to get around to like I was before the injury. But by then, my weight was 335 pounds. I went back to Weight Watchers. I had been several times before when I was in high school, back in 1980. It was an exchange diet. Then I went again in my 20s, my 30s, and my 40s. Each time I started off well and petered out after a few months. First came the eating things I was missing and not tracking, which led, of course, to plateaus and gains. The last time I didn't commit at all, and I quit within a couple months. In my life, I try and take personal responsibility for my decisions. I'm a school bus driver. If I goof up on the bus, be it run the railroad tracks, cuss on the bus, etc., I'm the first person to call my boss and tell them what happened. If I make a bad decision, that's on me. And yet, here I was, at a weight again that was off of my scale. When I had that surgery, I thought I would never have to diet again. I thought back to my most recent times that I joined WW, and I knew I couldn't do this halfway. I committed to staying on program, exercising, giving artificial sweeteners an open mind. I knew I had to take personal responsibility for what went into my mouth. I was tired of life passing me by, not doing things because I was too fat. I was terrified. I was terrified that I wouldn't pass my DOT physical each year and that they would force me to do a sleep study that I could not afford. Imagine my horror when the doctor tried to check my reflexes, but missed the place because my legs were so fat he couldn't find the landmarks. I was done with that stuff. I put on my size 4X Suck It Up Buttercup t-shirt, and I rejoined WW. That was March 1st. 2018. 10 days ago, I officially passed my 100-pound lost milestone. I still have 85 to 100 left to go, but I'm still going strong. Although I still have my struggles, especially when I'm closing in on those milestones, I have done better than I ever imagined that I could. I'm sure my gastric bypass has played a role in my success and has all the walking I'm doing, but I also get my blue dot nearly every day, which at 23 points is a lot harder than when I had 38. I don't go off plan. I keep my environment clear. I plan 20 meals a week. I eat out mindfully because date night is 12 hours before weigh-in. Only twice have I used all my weeklies, and I never eat my fit points. All of this because I now take personal responsibility for my eating. Thanks to WW. Donice. Wow. Folks, how cool is that? I tell you, one of my favorite kind of emails to read is when I'm reading them and I'm going, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh wow, oh awesome. That's what happened here. Right. And so when you start your email off with all the things all the failed attempts or all the refires, whatever the word is, right? All those attempts. And then you tell me how awesome you're doing. It proves to me that no matter who you are, no matter where you are, no matter what's going on in your life, you can do this. That's the thing I believe about every single one of us. I tell you at the opening of every show, I believe in you. I get that belief from emails just like this. It's emails just like this that remind me that every single one of us has the ability to do this. There isn't a single person out there that I don't believe has the power to do this. You're all able. You're all capable of doing this. And once you realize you're capable, then all of a sudden the responsibility shifts to you. And just because now you're capable means you have to take ownership. You have to take responsibility. I ask you 5 questions along the way. I say, what are your expectations? What's in your way? What's the hardest thing you've ever had to do in your life? Right? I ask you those questions, and I ask you, who is responsible for your success? It's somewhat rhetorical, right? I mean, the only answer is you. You can make up other names. You can put all kinds of other things in that answer, but the reality is it's you. And as much as I would love to take that responsibility from you, I can't. I would love it. I promise you I would. And you mail me your fitness tracker. I'll go for a walk for you and I'll send it back to you. Great. It doesn't work. Right? I mean, it may have a different number on it. It may have steps listed on it, but it doesn't impact your journey. Right? So the fact that you take the ownership, that you take the responsibility seriously, and you prioritize this part of your life is how you get to a 100-pound weight loss. I get it. I don't necessarily want to know what you got left on the journey. I'm glad you're going strong. But I guess the way I'm trying to word that is that a lot of emails come in and say, I've lost 100 pounds, but I have 85 to go. I've lost 100 pounds, but I still want to. No. Just take a moment and simply acknowledge the fact that you lost 100 pounds. Congratulations on that. There is no but, literally. Right? So here we go. We say, just be proud of what you've done. Don't ever take the pride of what you're doing and allow that to diminish by what you think you have left to do. They're 2 separate things. You can make a plan for the future, but celebrate what you've done without having to say, but I should have this, or I could have, or I still have. Get rid of that. Celebrate every single step of the way, and at the end of that celebration, put an exclamation point and move on. In a completely different paragraph, you could talk about what your future looks like. And so, congratulations on 100 pounds lost. And so whether it be gastric bypass, whether it be the blue dots, whatever it is, you've done it. That the surgery, and for a lot of folks, is life-changing and life-saving, right? And so, but there still requires some effort on your piece, and you have to put in the effort. The surgery alone does not fix this for you. There's more to it. And you understood that there's more to it, and you put the more into it. And you've gone back to eating better and eating healthier, and that's what's changing your life. The fact that you're getting your blue dot nearly every day at 23 points, the fact that you're keeping your environment clear, you're setting yourself up for success. That's what's doing this. Because you have taken responsibility. When I ask yourself, who was responsible for your success, you said you. That's the only answer. You got it right. And you took ownership and you made a change. So congratulations. And, those 5 questions, you can find them on fatdag.com. If you go to fatdag.com and you'll see a link that says, download the Wiser Me workbook. Type in your email address, hit submit, and you'll get a copy of that workbook to kind of walk through those same 5 questions. It's nothing elaborate, but really just forces you to take time to put it down on paper. What are your expectations, and what's the hardest thing you had to do? What's in your way? And lastly, who is responsible? Congratulations. Out of Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, Amber writes in and says, "Hey, FatDag, I've been listening for about a year, off and on. I found your podcast after it was referenced in a Facebook group I'm in, and I'm glad I found it. I enjoy listening to all the stories that people write in to share, and I'm always appreciative of your insight. I thought I would write in and say thanks and to share where I am in this moment that where I've been for the last 8 months. I know you've spoken before about the 50-pound loss and how we sometimes become a little complacent. And yep, you guessed it. It happened to me. I joined WW the end of April 2018. I plugged away steadily, losing and being focused and feeling pretty great about my progress and myself in general, really. Then it happened. I lost 50 pounds in December. I was thrilled. I was proud of myself. I thought, I've got this. I can keep going. I can keep it off. I can get to lifetime. But that's not at all what happened. After that 50-pound loss, I got complacent. I stopped tracking regularly. Meetings were more optional in my mind, and I stopped making small goals and celebrating when I accomplished them. I stopped listening to this podcast. Somehow, in losing 50 pounds, I had also lost that drive. I still feel good. I'm still proud of myself, but I've been bouncing around these same 7 pounds since December. I know it will come off. I know I will lose again. I know I'll have more energy. I know I'm treating my body much better than I had in the past, but I need to get my focus back. So that's what I'm working on. I'm asking myself, 50 pounds gone now what? My initial answer is 1 more. I know how to do this. I've done this. I will do this again. Anyway, thanks for taking the time to read my thoughts. Thanks for your years of service and sacrifice. And thanks for being another resource for me on my journey to be healthy. Amber. Amber, congratulations on your 50-pound weight loss. I've said that a gazillion times. That does not happen by accident. You can't accidentally wake up 50 pounds lighter and not know what happened. It's deliberate focus. It's daily you checking in with yourself and saying, I want to do this. And what's really cool about that is when you get to a 50-pound weight loss, there's no question you feel good. You feel better. You look better. Every one of us do, no matter where we start, right? So yeah, complacency kind of sets in a little bit because we're really happy. We actually legitimately feel good. Complacency, it's episode 72, way back then, but complacency is one of those things where it's not necessarily a bad thing if we understand it. You're allowed to feel good. You're allowed to look good. You're allowed to like how you feel. That's all part of it. But what we have to understand is those feelings of feeling good and looking good and feeling our best. They're a direct result of the work we put in to get there. If you want to maintain it, you got to keep going. And keep going means you got to follow the same process you used to be healthy, to be well, which eventually got you 50 pounds later. That's being mindful. That's tracking. That's planning meals. That's waking up and saying, I can do this. I want to do this. It's worth doing. Your focus will always come and go. We only have enough of it to go around in the first place. We have a lot of priorities in our life that we have to balance. And so as we're in this weight loss journey or wellness journey, and we get to a point where we now start liking ourselves better because we're down 50 pounds or whatever number it is, you start feeling better. So what happens is at that point, you look at the other things in your life that you want to also improve because now that you feel better, you want to improve everything you touch. And so you do that, and as you start improving other things, then some things, start falling off the back end. So we've got to understand now that this has to remain a priority. You will set goals that will compete with this, but you have to balance them. And so the opportunity for you now to say, okay, this is an important part of my life. This 50 pounds loss didn't happen by accident. This 50-pound loss makes me feel really, really, really good. I remember not feeling good, and I don't want to go back there. So now it'd probably be a good time to re-go through those same 5 questions we just talked about. What are your expectations from this point forward? They may be different than your expectations when you started. Do you believe you can do this? I certainly do. I love asking that question. And here's a test for you, right? If you're listening right now, I want you to answer yes or no. Do you believe what you're trying to do is possible? If you answered immediately yes, that's awesome. If you said anything but yes immediately, then that's okay. It's a no, and we're working on it. Let me believe in you, but then change some of your goals so that you can believe that what you're trying to do is possible. And so do you believe it's possible? What's in your way? What kind of resiliency do you need to persevere and to make this happen? Think about the hardest thing you ever had to do in your life and use the fact that you woke up from that event, that you're still living, which meant you had the strength to have gotten through that. So use that same strength to win here. And lastly, again, we said, who's responsible for your success? You are. And when you're responsible for your success, you prioritize this. You prioritize your wellness journey, the preservation of your wellness, right? You want to preserve that feeling. And that's what I want you to get to. So, Amber, congratulations. 50 pounds now. Now what? More of the same. More living an amazing life. More doing what you're doing, and just go for 51. You can do 51. If you've lost 50 pounds, you can certainly lose 51, right? You can absolutely add 1 more pound. If you've lost 51, well, then, you could go to 52, right? It's that simple. Well, heck, if you've lost 52 pounds, you could make it to 53, right? Right? And you could keep playing that game all the way to whatever number satisfies you. But if we start the journey and say we got to lose 100 pounds today, it's intimidating and it's daunting. Do it 1 pound at a time, and then at that point, we jump up and down and we celebrate. Amber, thanks for celebrating with us. Thanks for writing in. That's what makes this show so fun, is that you guys know what you need to hear. You know what you need to share. You know why we're a community together, because we all get it. We all understand how awesome these emails are. We recognize the challenges that are inside of them as our own. And so when you write in and share that, it builds our community together, and it helps somebody else along the way saying, okay, I can do this as well. And then we go celebrate. I want to know, what is it that you're celebrating? I absolutely want to share it on the air. Go to fatdag.com, click on the Wise Advice Podcast link, send in your celebrations, your comments, your questions. I'll work them in as part of the show. More importantly, I'll make them the show. That's how this works. And I want you to email in, because more importantly, I want you to be proud of what you're doing. I asked the Facebook Live group before I went to the show, on a scale of 1 to 10, how awesome are you? Legitimately, like really, how awesome are you on a scale of 1 to 10? And I want to get to the point where every single one of us says 10. It's in our mind. We control that. Believe you're a 10. I believe you're a 10. Let's celebrate that. Keep up the amazing work. Always a pleasure to tune in with you guys and hang out. Thanks for being a part of the Wise Advice Podcast. Thanks for being part of the Wise Wingman Facebook group. Just truly, thank you every single step of the way. But that's going to do it for this time. Remember that losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. I wish you good focus. Thank you for listening to the Wise Advice Podcast.
Did you know for as little as $1 a month, you can take the next step as a wingman and support the show? Visit fatdag.com, click on Become a Patron today.